So the end degrees, the last 10 degrees of Scorpio is about, and this is where this total lunar eclipse is happening on May 15th. It's around 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it's at 25 degrees of Scorpio. So you want to look and see if you have placements here. Now, as I've said before, if you've been following me for a while, if you have Scorpio placements at those last 10 degrees of Scorpio, you already know, you've been going through it. You've been going through the ringer, because any of those planets or placements are just getting lit up with the south node of the moon. We go through, and I'm not going to go too much into eclipses because I did a whole other video on just explaining eclipses and how they apply astrologically, but I'll just say the south node of the moon is going to be in Scorpio for the next, it's an 18-month cycle. We've been here since January, so you do the math, but I think it's like to July 2023 or something. We're in this cycle of releasing through that south node. So wherever that south node is, which is where we are having this lunar eclipse, we are literally, your whole generation has that, right? Like Pluto and Scorpio is a long time. So yes, look at that and look at what house it's in. So looking at the last 10 degrees of Scorpio, what house or houses it's in. Rianne, hello. If you want a card for this eclipse, I know you're in my eclipse class, but if you want a card for this eclipse, type your first name in the chat if you're on the live. So looking at where these last 10 degrees of Scorpio fall into your chart, you're going to understand where you've been asking for a clearing, for a purification. Those last 10 degrees of Scorpio, and especially the last 5, have to do with the tail of the scorpion, have to do with the pain, the purging that gets us when we feel it, when we allow for the purification through feeling our pain, through going into it and allowing for that expression, allowing for that movement, allowing for that emotion to flow through, not be frozen in the ice. Scorpio is also represented by the ice because it can be things that are frozen, and we need to melt it. We need to bring the warmth. We need to bring the heat. We need to bring the fire, which is the Leo moon right now that we're having, to be able to process and allow that frozen energy to move and flow, okay? So those last 10 degrees, and especially the last 5 degrees of Scorpio, are the purification that we all are being asked to do, regardless of your chart, regardless of what it looks like. Wherever those last 10 degrees of Scorpio fall in your chart, that's what's asking for a purification. It's not fun. It's not pretty. It's not the nice and the neat. It is the ugly cry. It is the things that we run from within ourselves. And it's being able to hold space for that. It's being able to really cradle that and be with that part of ourselves. So that is where we're at. And it's going to heat up. It's going to get more intense as we get closer to next Sunday. So the more work you can do now as we're building up to that really heightened place, that really heightened total lunar eclipse on Sunday, May 15th, the more work you do now, the less heightened it will be. The more you're avoiding, the more you're filling the spaces, the more you're like just trying to avoid feeling and avoid being with, the more intense it will be. And obviously this is going to be more true and more felt for those of us that have water placements, for those of us who have 4th, 8th, 12th house placements, depending on where your moon is. If you have a water moon, for sure, right? Like, so just understand that typically if you follow me, you typically have those placements, because otherwise you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's my Mercury and Cancer in the 12th house. So if you're here, this is probably for you. Now, with that being said, the two, really adding to already, like whenever I see a total lunar eclipse, I've said this before, I get a little bit like, ooh, are we ready for that? It's a real big energy. It's big energy, and it highlights our past, and it highlights what needs to be cleared, and it brings people back into your sphere that are on similar soul path aligned journeys, okay? It also clears people out of your field. So eclipse times in general are times of death, birth, renewal, release. I often say it's like it's like the biggest dump of your life that just doesn't flush down, and the lunar eclipse comes and it just is like, we'll take that for you. If you're willing to release that, if you're willing to feel that moving out, I'll take that for you and flesh it out. But it's like not fun. I think of also like, you know, I've never done ayahuasca. I'm not a big like proponent of it. I think the West overuses everything, but it's that idea of the purification process. It's like the purging, like literally physically from your body to get to a clean slate, to release, to renew. Okay, so it's not a fun process. It's a great time to do a very gentle cleanse, a very gentle purification process with your physical body. We are being upgraded, and this is why we're feeling the call to sleep more, and we're feeling the call to rest more and to integrate more, because we are literally upgrading our whole system. If you're watching this, you are. So Saturn creates a T-square with this lunar eclipse. So not only is this lunar eclipse, no matter what it's in, no matter what it's doing, a powerful time of flushing, an uncomfortable time of flushing, and it's in Scorpio, so it's extra uncomfortable. It's extra powerful. Then we have it T-squaring the malefic Saturn, Big Daddy in the sky, that's like this pressure on us, that's like, you came here to do some work. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? And I just wrote about this in a newsletter I sent out last night. It's like, I think that's where I wrote it. I wrote it somewhere. That, you know, it can feel like our baby blanket is being ripped out of our crib, except that we realize, oh, we're not a baby anymore, and oh, we're not in a crib anymore. Like, it's time to fucking let go, right? Hi, if you're just joining. Hi, Christy. So type your first name in the chat if you'd like a card at the end. Okay. If you're on the live. Only if you're on the live. Sorry. If you're not on the live, you can still comment. So squaring Saturn and Aquarius. So not only do you want to look to where these last 5 degrees of Scorpio is, but you really want to look at those last 5 degrees of Scorpio, any of the fixed signs. So we're talking, especially for you Aquariuses, like who's going to be feeling this the most? I mean, it depends on your placements, right? So I will say, of course, if you are a fixed sign, you're going to be feeling this the most, especially if you are Aquarius, especially if you are Scorpio. Placements at these places. So now that, you know, and it's hard to say because it's like, it depends on your chart. And this is why it's a great time. I have a May special to schedule your full astrological embodiment deep dive healing session with me. It's a 2-hour session that we do together. It goes deep, deep, deep. Like most of the time it goes past lives. Most of the time it goes into all of the things that are keeping you from living your chart. So we will do that together. If you sign up in May, if you schedule in May, you will get a bonus hour session with me. So 3 hours with me. It's $888. The link's in my profile. I highly encourage you to utilize this time to do big healing work, no matter who it's with, even if it's just on your own. But I am for sure here for it and here to hold that space. Scorpio 4th house, Black Moon Lilith, Uranus. I can give you the change you've been looking for. So yeah, if you're interested in that, the link's in my profile. Okay, so we have that T-square to Saturn. Yeah, all those signs are going to be feeling it. And then lastly, Mars over conjunct Neptune. So we've had Jupiter conjunct Neptune. We've had Venus traveling over conjuncting Jupiter and Neptune. And now we have Mars. And what Mars does different than Venus and Jupiter is it acts on the expansion. So your physical body is literally going through this upgrade. Your energetic body is going through this upgrade. And how you can make even more space for that is making the space to rest, receive, tune out the world, drink more water, make sure it's clean, and take good care of your physical body. You are literally going through this upgrade and you're purging out all of the toxins, all of the poisons that have been getting in your way of having clear vision, of having a clear body, of having a clear spirit. So I'm really excited for you. Depending on where your cycle, if you're a woman, falls, like that's an extra time. Whenever you get your cycle for this eclipse season, you really want to pay attention to making more space for clearing and purging. With the menses also, you have the capability to purge other things. So go for it, girls. Go for it. Ladies, women. Okay, I think I've blabbered on a lot. I'm going to pull cards now, but last thing I will say, really pay attention to where those last 5 degrees of Scorpio fall in your chart. You're going to be taken into your past, either through your family line or a past life, or I'm like thinking of all the house placements here. Past times where you've been, felt feelings of isolation, of being alone, and really being able to be with that part of yourself to purge out and purify, okay? Because this is a really powerful time. I don't want you to miss this time. So that's all happening. I also have to say, if you haven't watched my Jupiter into Aries video, that transit is launching. It's literally like a rocket launching us. So we're not only in eclipse season, we're not only coming to Mercury retrograde, we're also having Jupiter go into the most fiery, the most rocket shippy sign, Aries. So if you haven't watched that video with me, please do. Also, while you're there, leave a comment, say hello, give me some love, because I share a lot of my time and I love it being reciprocated with a little bit of love. So that's happening. Check it out. And yeah, then we're going into Mercury retrograde, which I think also starts May 10th. Not 100% on that. And it's in Gemini. And so, yeah, there's just so much. It's kind of too much to all give here, but this is why working with me is so powerful. And I do have that one time, well, it's like, the one session where you get the bonus session for May. And I also have one spot still open for May for 3-month coaching. So if you want to do the transformational success work with me, it includes some of my courses, it includes one-on-one with me, it includes your chart, it includes deep, it's intense. And I push you because I see your potential, and the changes that happen during those 3 months are amazing and outstanding. So if you're really ready to see 2022 be your year, this is the best way to do it. Alrighty, so let's see who's still here. Type your first name in the chat if you are still here and you want a card. I saw Lauren, and I saw Dana, and I saw Rianne. So if you're all still here, please just type a little hi, I'm still here, and I'll figure out what cards we're going to use. Let's see. I'm so glad some of you are following all that. Let's see. Do we want... I'll let you guys choose. Okay, hi, you're still here, yay! Okay, so, all right, when you come on, okay, so when you come on, Lauren, you can type into the chat too and say, would you like the Lumeria deck for your eclipse card, or would you like the Zen Tarot for your eclipse card? So type that into the chat too, and all of you can do that. If you typed your first name, please just say which deck you like for your eclipse read. Okay. Yay. Okay. So Lauren, maybe there's a lag. The first one, Lumeria. This is the Lumeria deck. I love this deck. So Lauren, here's what this lunar eclipse is asking from you, for you, all about you, girl. Everybody wants Lumeria. Ooh, oh, this is your journey to wholeness. How beautiful is that? And within this card, I see so much about this being about not only like this idea of this Kundalini awakening and arising within you, but also your crown chakra, like coming into more of your knowing and your understanding and having that really balanced, that you're like kind of being in this place where you're stepping into your truth more and owning who you are and really not caring what other people say about you and your journey. So I'm really excited to see this. The other thing that I see is, I just got chills, is that within that crown chakra, you're also coming into new awareness. So when I was talking about really this upgrade and how for so many it's awakening that third eye, it's really about you trusting what you see, trusting what's coming up for you. So that self-trust is huge. And this is also crown codes. It's not too late to join us for crown codes. This is a 6-week group mentorship program that I'm doing, which is all about owning your crown and standing in your truth, especially in your business. So if any of you are interested in that, that's still a possibility. Registration will close though this Sunday, which is tomorrow. So, all right, let's see. So then Dana Delaney coaching. I love that. Okay. For your eclipse card for the Scorpio full moon eclipse. Ooh, oh my gosh. If you're on here, like, you guys are so powerful. And also this eclipse is having you step in your power in some really uncomfortable ways. I feel you, okay? You have a very similar card, but it's different. So I'm guessing that you have more of the Scorpio energy. You have this full spectrum card. And so, yes, you're coming into your crown. Yes, you're integrating and moving up into this knowing. But, and you're also deeply connected to the ancestors and to the roots and to the earth. And there's also some grief with being so connected to the earth and the ancestors and what's already been. And it's really important for you to do the purification work at this time around not letting that weigh you down, not carrying that for other people, for your ancestors, for your family lineage, so that you can get into more of those wings, the wings energy. It's not that you're not going to be connected. I think there's a fear of not having that connection anymore. You'll still have that connection, but it'll be free of trauma and restrictions that are currently holding you back. As you can see her connected to those vines, it's a beautiful thing, but right now it's keeping her from flying. So I'm curious if that resonates with you. Of course, this is a card where I'm like, let's work together if you're interested. But yeah, that's what I see. Okay, so if you're still here and you want a card, type your first name into the chat. I'm just going with the Lumeria deck because everybody so far has wanted that. And let me know in the comments if your card resonates with where you're at or not. It's okay if it doesn't. And Sima, I love you, Sima. Here is your card for the full moon Scorpio eclipse. Whew, powerful one. I'm just feeling a lot of your root chakra, like where you have had places and spaces within you where you've had to like be in places that felt unsafe and you felt like you had to give away your knowing in order to stand and be in that space. And now is the time to really claim your truth and claim your safety again. Isn't this deck beautiful? Okay, so Sima, I'm gonna stay focused. Sima, it's time to shine your light. And this is such a mermaid card. So again, really, I think I always for you feel that water and really staying connected to the clean waters, to the purifying waters. I think of this card reminds me of like the feminine leadership journey that I teach, and we talk about Sedna. And so if you don't know Sedna in your chart, do a little research on Sedna. This is a time to purify kind of the waters that have gotten murky and come into your clean waters again and really own that ability to come into your purification in that. So I don't know if that makes sense, but it's okay to shed. It's okay to cry. It's okay to clear at this time. This is for all of us. Okay, Rianne, here is your card for this powerful lunar eclipse in Scorpio. I'm doing last call for cards, so if you haven't typed your first name in the chat, do it now. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up so I can get to soccer momming on time. Okay, Rianne, here. Whoa, two cards. Crown chakra. Hello. It's like, if you've been listening, this is the theme. So, and I'm teaching crown codes right now. However, this one, Rianne, for you is about bringing that knowing and that truth down into the lower chakras, down into your third chakra, down into your second chakra, that knowing, that truth, and that clarity into your physical body, into your womb space, because there's been just times where you haven't known how you felt about something. You haven't had the clarity in those lower chakras. And so by bringing that knowing that you have, that of the divine, of your intuition down into the lower chakras, it's going to bring you a lot of clarity. I don't know if that makes sense. You can reach out if you want more on that. But so you got that. Got the 2 chakra cards. So I know that you're in the relational upgrade. This course with me is like 222. It's an amazing course, and it takes you through how each one of the chakras helps us relate to others and to ourselves. So if you're interested in that, any of you, I'm going to be typing out a special offer for that through the weekend as well, for a Mother's Day special. But Rianne, I know you're already in there, so definitely going back and listening to the third eye chakra one and the crown chakra one in relation to the rest of your physical body, your lower chakras in particular. Like, how do you bring that knowing into those areas? I really feel like that's what's coming up for this eclipse. And you're a Scorpio rising, if I'm remembering correctly, and so it makes sense that how you're identifying with your own body and your own self at this time is really clearing and cleaning up, and kind of you're coming to new places with it. So I'm excited to see if that resonates. Okay. So, I love that it resonates. Thank you all for being here. Gigi. Okay, let's see. Gigi and Anna. This past week has been for everyone. Okay. And we're, I don't want to be like, and it's going to continue. It's like, no, if we do the freaking work that we're being asked to do, it will ease up as the eclipse comes. Some of us get the eclipse energy a little early, but it's definitely amping up as the full moon comes. Okay, so I have 2 cards left to do, one for Gigi and one for Anna. I appreciate you all being here. If you're feeling just the pull and the desire to work with me, just message me. I'm happy to chat with you about different options or different things that just would be in alignment for you at this time. So I'm so excited to see who steps in to work with me during this eclipse time, as I am an eclipse baby, and I feel really just whoever comes into my world around this time, I'm like, we are definitely on the same soul mission. Okay, so here's your card, Gigi, for the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Ha! It's time to shine your light. Woo! Second time we're getting this card. So it's time to shine your light. It's time to be in touch with your inner waters and your intuition, your knowing, and clearing up any of the murky waters that have kept you from trusting yourself, that have kept you from being in your light. So again, work with me. This is like the time to do it. And I'm happy to tell you different offers that I have. So just message me if you're interested. And the last card for Anna. Thank you all so much for being here. Anna, here's your card for the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. The sound of the universe is coming through you, coming to you. Trust what you're hearing. Try to be aware of any junk noise that is in your surroundings, things that maybe are plugged in that don't need to be plugged in, things that are just getting in the way of you being able to hear the sound of the universe. This is also a placement for sound healing. If you've thought about offering sound healing, if you thought about receiving sound healing, this is a great time to do it. So it's also a great time to reset the nervous system by covering your ears and humming. or oming. All of those things help to reset our nervous system. And so that's the message for you at this lunar eclipse, that there's something purifying out, especially through the ears. Maybe some toxic things that were told to you when you were a child, maybe some toxic things that came through when even recently. It's the time to purify those out so that you can listen and hear the sound of the universe. I love you all. Thank you all so much for being here. When you see this on my profile page, please go visit. Give it a like and a comment. Both really help me and help you to share it with more people, because I love doing